Yo, I know it's not just me. Man, this NFL offseason was long as giraffe legs, bro. This has been a very long NFL offseason. I am incredibly happy that it is finally back. I am most happy because it's Commanders time. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. Welcome back to my channel, Opinion Stated. Man, listen, finally, it is NFL season. The NFL season officially kicked off last night in Philadelphia, where the Dallas Cowboys took on the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was a really good football game as well. So, the NFC East, man, was on full display. NFL, obviously, on full display. But if last night's game was any indication of the dogfight that is to be had in the NFC East this season, man, it's going to be something. Dallas was a formidable opponent last night. They did not get smoke stomped on, beat up, CD scam, Jack the Wreck in the game. But man, that's for another video, some other place, some other time. Dallas fans, man, dry your eyes, man. It's going to be a long season. This episode, obviously, man, I want to talk about the other two teams in the NFC East Division, namely the Washington Commanders, who square off against our lowly division rival, the New York Giants, this coming Sunday to kick off the 2025 season. So I'm going to go through, as you can see, the game plan here on the side of the screen. I'm going to go through 4 quarters of this game plan, just as a game has. And then we'll get into a 2-minute drill and I'll end the video. But before I dive anywhere near this content, do me a huge favor. Like the video. Liking the video helps us cruise along algorithm avenue, helps us get into the presence of individuals just like yourself who might be interested in this kind of content. Also, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell to be notified as to when my newest episodes are uploaded. And without further ado, I am entitling today's episode, Jayden versus Goliath, Commanders, Battle Prep to Slay Giants. Man, we whipping out the slingshots. We whipping out the sword this weekend. It's going up. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really excited for this game, obviously, because we get a chance to see the team play at full speed, not a half-mast. This ain't preseason no more. This is where all the chips are pushed to the center of the table. You know what I mean? It's for all the marbles, man. And every game is definitely going to matter, especially these division games. And so I am actually expecting, I'll say early, I guess, like hot take for the episode. I'm expecting us to beat. Damn, I can't even get it out. You know what I mean? Like literally, let me say it with my chest. I'm going to beat the Giants by at least 14 points, at least. So I don't know what Vegas has set the line at, but man, if you're a gambler, go and take them points, man. We're going to smoke these people. I expect the game to be a high-scoring game. I expect it to be incredible. And why do I expect these things? Man, it's because of the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I be expecting the best out of this team? Shout out to Coach Dan Quinn. Shout out to Adam Peters, etc., and the staff for building out this roster, man. Like strengthening out this team. The team looks very good. I really like all the pieces that they put around Jayden Daniels to assure success offensively this year. I like what they've done on defense to make sure that we have a good defensive team. It's just going to be a matter now of just seeing it all together on the field. But that's what Sunday is all about. And so I do want to talk about, you know what I mean, like the first quarter as here in the game plan that you can see. We're going to talk about Terry McLaurin. For those who are unawares, Terry McLaurin was holding out during the offseason, and then he was holding in, you know what I mean, during training camp, etc. And, was really just trying to negotiate an extension beyond the final year, that is this 2025 season, on his contract. Got that stuff square, man. My chief concern, obviously, as I mentioned in previous episodes, was that Terry would take some time to get kind of ramped up and into high gear for the season and condition for the season, based on him sitting out. But neither here nor there, man. The last couple of weeks, he's been working out with the team, and all signs point to him being a full go on Sunday. And so, $96 million richer is Terry McLaurin. And so what I want to do is I want to get into video footage that I want to share with you guys, just celebrating the extension of Terry McLaurin and also just what Terry means to the organization, the Commanders organization as a whole. Let's dig into that, and then I'll come back and I'll give the rest of my opinion.
My Washington Redskins select Terry McLaurin, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Oh, man, nice to meet you.
We just play country people from Indiana. There's nothing real special about us but hard work and effort.
If I can make somebody's day, if I can make somebody's, hour, I'm going to try to do that. And they get to see me with my helmet. And that's the ultimately thing I want to do is show people who I am on and off the field. So I'm going to go do that every time I can, and hopefully I can touch everybody I can, and we're going to go from there trying to get these dubs.
The only thing you really got is your name and your reputation. What they gonna say about your name? What they gonna say about your reputation? What they gonna say when they turn that film on? I know what they gonna say about me.
Is the best contested catch receiver in the National Football League.
Oh, yeah.
Jayden Daniels for McLaurin in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
McLaurin is loose.
Just a tremendous wide receiver.
An amazing catch by one of the steady wide receivers in the sport.
Commanders fans, what's up? It's Terry McLaurin. I'm back. I'm excited to be here with you guys, man. I call this place home. I can't wait to see you guys out there week one. Let's work hard this year. We need y'all loud each and every week. Appreciate y'all. Let's get to it.
Get to it. So, man, excited to have Terry, obviously, in uniform, still, man, presently in Washington. I didn't think that he was going to leave, honestly. That was never a fear of mine. Again, my concern was just surrounding his health to avoid soft tissue injuries like pull this, pull groin, pull hamstring, that sort of a thing. So, knock on wood, we won't be, or he won't be, hampered by any of the such. And if I could pray for good health for the entire team, and I definitely want to do that too. Football is a very, very grueling sport, man, and very, very tough on the body. But, that notwithstanding, man, really excited, as I said, to have Terry McLaurin in uniform, ready to rock and roll as a Commander on Sunday. And it's gonna be really, really interesting to see how the acquisition of Debo and Noah Brown being healthy and potentially young Jalen Lane, being inserted as well, just how that frees up Terry to make his job like a little bit easier, because they have other weapons out there that can, also obviously Zach Ertz and the like too, who, pose a threat. So it'll force the secondaries to play a little bit more respectful. So we'll see, man. And kind of what happens, but definitely excited to see Terry alongside somebody like a Debo, who's also a threat and has to be respected. You know what I mean? So, yes, this should be a really, really interesting game. It should definitely be a high-scoring Commanders team this season. And so I'm looking forward to that more than anything else. But speaking of Terry McLaurin, speaking of his high production I expect him to have this season, much higher than, last season. I think last season he definitely broke or set the record for most touchdowns in a season by a wide receiver in Commanders franchise history. So that was 13. And I was saying in a previous episode that I expect him to have at least 17 receiving touchdowns this year. I think it's going to be that kind of a year for him. And so, he can't catch throw passes to himself and catch it. That's not how it works. So as you can see from the game plan, second quarter, man, is, topic of discussion, none other than Mr. Jayden Daniels, who is quarterback extraordinaire, who is fresh off of an incredible rookie season that saw him voted as offensive rookie of the year. And I want to do likewise before I talk about Jayden specifically. I want to get into a brief portion of an interview with Taylor Rooks and Jayden Daniels as he talked about his excitement to likewise still be in uniform and a teammate of Terry McLaurin, being happy about the extension. Let's listen to that, and then I'll come back and I'll offer more of my opinion.
I know another thing that'll put a smile on your face, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
You've got him. 3 more years. Tell me how you reacted knowing you had Terry back.
We were actually on the field, and we were running, and I came in the locker room, looked at my phone, so I went to go find Terry. He was in the weight room. I told him, just let me hold some, just a little something. I don't need much, maybe a watch or something.
Yeah, just a Rolex.
Just a little watch or something. But I was super excited for Terry, just how much work he put in over these years, and he's deserving of it. So I'm happy that we're back out here, and now we're moving forward. We're getting ready for week 1.
Yeah, because what does it unlock for you, like when Terry is out there on the field?
I think it unlocks a lot. We got Terry out there to help keep defensive coordinators up at night a little bit more. So it's good to have him back out there.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, Taylor. So, yeah, man, for a kid like Jayden Daniels especially, with this idea that most people have about this sophomore slump, I know we've witnessed it a million times over with quarterbacks over the years, young quarterbacks coming in. Like, man, that rookie wall, is a thing. That sophomore slump is a thing, et cetera. So I'm not necessarily worried about it just because of the level of talent that Jayden possesses, his poise under pressure, his ability to see the field, his patience to go over his reads, etc. So as long as he's got a decent offensive line, I'm never really concerned that he won't be productive. Kid's got wheels too, so he can boogie. Like get out of the pocket and go for what he knows if he should decide to do so. But none of that, is indicative of the kind of team that the Commanders have around him. And that's the thing that excites me more than anything else, is that, man, this kid is walking back into an even better situation than last year, having the opportunity to coach this squad up, Coach Dan Quinn and the rest of the coaching staff last year. You know what I mean? They were able to kind of identify some things that were necessary and then go out and get those pieces and add them in. And so one such piece, obviously, is Terry McLaurin and keeping him here so that in the spirit of preventing sophomore slump, you got, a viable weapon that this kid can continue to build upon the success of last season with. And that is why I'm super excited. I'm sure that's why he's super excited about Terry McLaurin having re-signed. And so, man, Jayden Daniels by himself is just a remarkable, young talent. And I mean, you would absolutely have to be living under a rock, man, not to understand how incredible this kid was. Or maybe you're just a brand new fan to sports. And if so, no judgment to you. But I'm going to take this opportunity to give you a bit of education on who Mr. Jayden Daniels is. Let's take a look at this quick video, and then I'll come back and I'll offer more of my opinion. Jayden Daniels exploded onto the NFL stage after being selected second overall in the 2024 draft. Having delivered an elite quarterback performance, he earned the prestigious honor of being named Offensive Rookie of the Year, compiling over 5,400 total yards, 37 touchdowns, and leading Washington to the NFC Championship game. He likewise ranked number 4 on PFF's list of top players under 25, deservedly praised as the most promising young quarterback in the NFL right now. With last season in the rearview, JD5 is eager to keep proving himself. His teammate, Austin Eckler, is already predicting growth, expecting Daniels to get mentally faster and more comfortable in the offense, potentially leading to an even more explosive season. Adding Deebo Samuel has injected new energy into the offense. Jayden is already pumped about the pairing, joking that he's excited to throw him a little screen that hopefully reads from the stat sheet as an 80-yard touchdown that he didn't have to do any of the work for. Experts are already projecting Daniels to be a fantasy and MVP powerhouse this season and beyond. Some suggest he can exceed 5,000 total yards and 40 touchdowns in 2025, a fantasy and reality cheat code in the making. Moreover, sports columnists are highlighting Daniels as the top second-year quarterback with a genuine shot at winning a Super Bowl. Others, unbiased in their views, see him as a young MVP candidate already reshaping the league. Despite rapid stardom, Daniels remains grounded. He carefully balances his public presence, limiting appearances to maintain focus. His humility, calm under pressure, and dedication to routine have impressed teammates, coaches, and analysts, earning comparisons to elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. Jayden Daniels' rise has been nothing short of electric. A historic rookie campaign, a hungry mindset heading into year 2, newfound weapons like Deebo Samuel, and lofty projections from analysts are all fueling more excitement. Add in his poised off-field persona, and Jayden Daniels is primed for a breakthrough season, potentially transforming the Washington Commanders into legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Many in the mainstream media, like ESPN's Dan Orlovsky, are heaping this kind of praise on Jayden Daniels.
And then number 1, Jayden Daniels. Got Terry McLaurin back. Jayden Daniels covered up a lot of flaws last year for the offense. They were bad on first down. They were bad in play action. He was elite with comebacks and elite with fourth down. Could you imagine if he continues that elite fourth down or comeback status, but also is better in the play action game, is also better on first down? Then we're talking about, is he in that grouping with a player like a Joe Burrow, a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, and a Patrick Mahomes?
So with that, the hype machine, deservedly so, is fired up for Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. And as a fan, I'm here for it. And so, as right there at the tail end of that video, the audio played from a soundbite from First Take where Dan Orlovsky was choosing like top quarterbacks to look out for this season. And, one of the things that he mentioned was like how Jayden Daniels essentially saved the Redskins from, obscurity last year by doing a lot of, or a few things really, really, really good. And that was, man, just his ability to help lead them in comebacks, as he did, the confidence that Coach Dan Quinn had in him to go out and pursue first downs through, a 4-down situation. They got themselves in a whole bunch of fourth and whatevers and were just confident to go with it. But with that is what Orlovsky said about how they were horrible on first down. And so I would like to see this Commanders team, obviously this year, man, take every down more serious. You know what I mean? So that we don't have to be cardiac and just doing things kind of happenstancely or, luckily on fourth down. man, go out, man, and value those first downs too. You know what I'm saying? So no throwaway downs at all. But yeah, taking full advantage of efficiency on offense, which I definitely think is going to happen this year. Like I said, with the way that this roster is structured, man, and how things look. And so I don't think I'm going to be wrong in that regard. This team's going to put up a ton of points, and we're going to show on Sunday exactly what I'm talking about against the Giants. We're going to put up some numbers this year, man. So, those of you who fantasy football, you have, Jayden Daniels or, you know what I mean, this wide receiver core or, the running backs on your fantasy teams, man, you can expect a high production from those guys, with the exception of, as we talk about the third quarter, running back. Not that you may not have drafted the right running back, of the four on the Commanders' present roster, but yeah, the depth chart, or as it presently stands, is just kind of, I mean, because that running back room is so talented, is it going to be a running back by committee, kind of a situation that they have set up? Is it definitely going to be Austin Eckler, as the number one featured back this season, considering he's been here for a while, he's paid his dues, you know what I mean, alongside Brian Robinson Jr. So the questions surrounding the depth of, or the depth chart, who's going to start, who's going to play, who's going to be active, who's going to be inactive. I addressed this in a previous episode a few days ago, and shout out to all the folks who commented on that video and who watched that video. It has like 1,000 views or something like that. But shout out to all those folks who were in the comments also questioning whether or not, like, I just made the story, I fabricated it. So just like, are you just making this up? Like, no, I'm not making it up. I heard it reported in legacy media, and so I reported it in the streets of YouTube. So to add validity to what I was saying about not making it up, I do have a bit of a sound clip from the Commanders Report by Chat Sports, and this is addressing, as I said, the running back depth.
According to the depth chart right now, and keep in mind it is an unofficial depth chart, but this is the running back order as it's stated by the team right now. Austin Eckler is the number one running back, followed by Jerry McNichols, Chris Rodriguez Jr., and then Bill Krosky-Merritt is all the way down at number 4. I think once we get to the field on Sunday, we're going to figure out just how much of a role Jacory Krosky-Merritt is going to have, at least to start the season. I think this might be a situation where he may even get more carries and more run as the season goes on. But the Commanders are very high on Jacory Bill Krosky-Merritt, whatever you guys want to call him. He had a really good preseason, had a really good training camp. All the signs are there that by the end of the season, he is going to be this team's number one running back. We'll see where he starts to begin the season. But I think, we might get to Sunday and he might be taking number one running back carries.
See, I didn't make it up. And so I posed a question as to, whether or not Jacory Krosky-Merritt, Bill, would be, inactive on Sunday, because typically, teams do not have 4 active running backs available during a game. Just no reason to. You know what I mean? It's not enough football to go around to have 4 active. However, I think it will be easy to think, well, I mean, Jeremy McNichols, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need him, but he's like a special teams guy. And Austin Eckler, like I said, or then like was just shared, is, number one on the depth chart. He probably understands the playbook far better than anybody else, you know what I mean, being there as long as he's been. And then, you're talking about Chris Rodriguez. And so, who's very, very good as well. So Jacory Krosky-Merritt fits in where? Jeremy McNichols, outside of special teams, fits in where? In terms of roster reps during the games, et cetera, man. So it's going to be a really, really, interesting thing to observe on Sunday as well, man. But I'm excited regardless because, like I said, to me, the depth at running back is a positive. You know what I mean? Like we're deep finally with quickness. That is lateral quickness with speed, with power. We have very capable running backs, man, who are able to hit the holes with power as well, and also with speed. You know what I mean? Those obviously, Eckler, who has great hands, for catching the screens and the other short yardage passes, slants, etc. Coming out of the backfield, man, is definitely formidable as well. So it's just going to be really interesting to see kind of how that plays out. But I wanted to talk about the running back depth. One, because we're incredibly gifted at running back, but two, I want to prove you motherfuckers that I wasn't making shit up. You know what I'm saying? People, I don't know, man. I know that people love clickbaiting folks to get them just to view things and to pay attention, man. But I don't do that. I'm all about, honesty and integrity. And I mean, why wouldn't I be? I'm literally just giving my opinion on things. I don't have to make up news just to give my opinion on. So anyway, that's the third quarter, man, and moving right along to the fourth quarter of this episode. And this fourth quarter, I'm gonna entitled, or I've entitled, watch them work. And so I want to talk about, as we watch this team go to work on Sunday, a player who has been talked about a whole bunch, man, who's hyped and folks are really excited about him. I've heard, the sports analysts, et cetera, man, just continue to talk about this kid, and that kid being Josh Connerly Jr. And so Grant Paulson from 1067 The Fan, Grant and Danny, we're actually just talking about the matchup for Josh Connerly on Sunday. And so I wanted to briefly touch on that. And I'll come back and I'll give my opinion. Let's take a listen to what Grant had to share.
Josh Connerly Jr. at right tackle against Brian Burns on the edge. Burns last year had his highest pressure total that he's ever had. 66 pressures. This is a guy who is one of the more underrated, I think, pass rushers in the NFL, because the sack total doesn't always show his impact. If you look at his numbers, Danny, he had 12.5 sack season. He's never had 10 any other year. So it's mostly 8.5 sacks. It's kind of Brian Arakpo-ish numbers.
Yep.
But he is super impactful, and he's going to go head-to-head with Connerly a lot on the edge. I wonder how much they're going to help the rookie.
It's going to be interesting to see if the rookie can hold his own, especially against a high-pressure, opponent. And, man, you got to cut your teeth at some point, somehow, some way. But I don't think that all these analysts would be so high on Josh Connerly if he wasn't capable. But it's going to be really interesting to see how he holds down this assignment. It's week one of the NFL season. So you expect, some jitters, expect some things to, some things maybe not to be executed precise. But that doesn't mean, the kid's not capable of functioning at a high level. It's NFL football, for Pete's sake. You know what I'm saying? It's not like football on some field out by your house. You dig? So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on that matchup. I just kind of wanted to point that out because they pointed it out as a point of emphasis. With Brian Burns having, the 66 pressures on a quarterback. Now, obviously, for any quarterback, you want to make sure that you're protecting this quarterback and that this quarterbacks have time to, look over their reads and make the best, possible play that they can make for the offense. So it's going to be a matchup that I'll keep my eye on for sure. And man, with that is our 4 quarters of this episode. I'm going to get into the 2-minute drill, and then we'll get out of here. I am most interested again in seeing how the offense, flows. Moreover than anything else, because we haven't spoken about it in this episode, is going to be the defense. How we look against the run. Can we stop the run? We were horrible against the run last season. So I'm definitely curious as to, how that new, defensive energy translates over into, stops and effective defensive play. I don't think this is a high pressure game or any more of a high pressure game than it would be at any other point of the season playing the Giants. I mean, specifically, it's a division game, man. So they're always very competitive for whatever reason. And I said in the previous episode that the Giants always seem to find some way to either win a game against or we figure out some way to squander a game to them, one way or the other, you know. But this being week one, obviously trying to knock off the cobwebs and get yourself up to speed. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. I definitely, obviously, want to see the Commanders come out and take care of business. I believe that they will, because I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I said I expect us to win by 2 touchdowns in this game. So best case scenario for me would be for us to blank the Giants. You know what I mean? Like hold them to a big blue donut and and just to definitely have a high-powered offense on full display, man. So if for nothing else, not to put the rest of the league on notice, but just to inspire and encourage these Commanders to continue to stretch themselves in this 2025 season. And what better way to do so than getting off to a great start? Bring on football on Sunday, man. Absolutely cannot wait for it. That's been the basis of this episode, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a huge favor, like the video, as I said, if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Leave for me your opinion in the comment section. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourselves. Blessings.